What's going on, you guys? It's your huggable hipster here, and welcome back to Soulsborne Academy. Don't mind the hunter in the corner, they're just here for your protection. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing how Manus and Gwyn are both sides of the same coin. Manus is one extreme while Gwyn is another. Manus being the representation of pure evil, and Gwyn being the representation of pure manipulation. What I find actually kind of interesting is that not a lot of lore really indicates how the first fire came about. It's kind of like the Big Bang for the Dark Souls universe. And what I find even more fascinating is that Gwyn is the one who is kind of safeguarding and protecting the bonfire, so to speak, so that the Age of Fire can continue. It's kind of like keeping on a band-aid longer than it should have. You know you gotta rip that sucker off at some point, and Gwyn just does not want to admit that the Age of Man has to take place. While Manus on this other extreme side of the coin was focused on anger, desperation, self-torturing himself for things that he's done, and just upsetment in general, Gwyn, on the other hand, was manipulative, callous, and always looking at things with rose-colored glasses. Kath and Aldea were actually the ones to question Gwyn's linking of the fire multiple times, saying that it was an unnatural act, that you shouldn't make people immortal. And that's the same concept that we see in Elden Ring with Marika. It was inhibiting the potential of humans, and it was inhibiting the ability for humans to mourn, to be able to experience certain emotions because they were kept alive way longer than they were supposed to be. This is where Gwyn is selfish in the fact of where he wants to keep things going. He wants to be able to have his own selfish need met of linking the fire each time so life continues. Maybe it's a fear of being alone. What's really, and I think that this is kind of interesting. I found this on fandom.com, where Aldea, the scholar of the first sin, at some point learned of Gwyn's existence, but not his name, referring to him as merely the Lord of Light, which is kind of, it's funny, but also kind of sad, because Gwyn, you know, for me at least, came off as one that it was extraordinarily arrogant and cocky and wanted to be remembered and revered almost as just this god that had ultimate presence, had ultimate power. Maybe at one point he did, but that point is long gone, and in Dark Souls 2 that shows immensely. But then you take a trip over to Dark Souls 3, and the remnants of the power of Gwyn kind of all merge into this one big boss battle. You might know what it is. It is the soul of Cinder. It is the manifestation of all of the souls that have linked themselves to the first flame, to the bonfire. That's why this boss is so difficult, because it just possesses all of the abilities. Every single one of them. You name it, it has it. Manus is the one that is most mentioned way after Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. It's mentioned in Elden Ring. I've done this before, which you guys keep reminding me how kind of miffed you are that I'm comparing Dark Souls to Elden Ring, but this is just another case of it, of where we see these comparisons. We see different instances of where the same things are being utilized, and like I've said before, we know Miyazaki loves to reutilize different ideas and use them in different concepts and different ways and different scenarios. But when we see Gwyn and Manus, it's almost kind of like this yin and yang, so to speak. It's kind of interesting that, you know, during the recording of this video, I'm realizing how similar Marika and Gwyn actually are. Gwyn prolonged people's life more than naturally, you know, was supposed to be. Marika extended people's natural lives more than it was supposed to be. I think, this is just my opinion, out of guilt, because she felt bad about what happened in the shaman village, in her home, and she couldn't do anything to stop it. It's really heartbreaking, actually, because it makes these characters a little more human. It makes these characters a little more, you forgive them a little bit more. But on the other hand, you see kind of the arrogance that both of them have. And I can actually do another video comparing and contrasting, seeing like the differences in how, again, might I add, Dark Souls connects with Elden Ring. Manus wants everyone to experience what he's experienced, the loss, the anger, the hurt. Gwyn wants people to stick around for a very, 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 very long time. He wants people to see this kind of facade that he's built that, oh, everything's going to be okay. It's all roses. It's all dandelions. It's all... No, it's not. Not everything is not going to be okay. Gwyn had the rose-colored glasses on for a little too long, and that's why his part of the world is so sunny and bright. And when you kill his daughter, that's when it all goes to shit. When you kill Guinevere, that is when the facade rips away. That is when the player finally realizes that, oh shit, okay, everything is not good. It's not good. This is not a drill. We are not joking. Things are just a big old flippin' mess. What's fascinating about this is that we have Guinevere and we have Dark Sun Gwendolyn. Now this links into the whole thing with Gwyn. Just hang tight with me for a second, all right? Guinevere escapes. Right? Okay, so then you have the only deity left to protect Anor Londo was Dark Sun Gwendolyn. Now this is where it all ties back to Gwyn, and it's really kind of sad actually, of where Gwyn imposes the feminine role of his daughter Guinevere onto Dark Sun Gwendolyn. Because of this, Gwendolyn creates the illusion of Guinevere. This is why whenever you kill Guinevere, you're killing the illusion of light. You're killing everything that is just a symbol, not the actual reality of what is. You're killing something that is a facade. You are not killing the actual Guinevere. This illusion was to maintain control over Anor Londo. This is why Gwyn and Manus, two completely extremes of the same coin. He put his own children in this awful, unbelievably horrifying predicament, and Manus just brought everyone in to his own sadness, to his own anger, to his own hurt. There's just such an abundance of lore, and there's such an abundance of topics to dive into within the Souls games. It makes me so incredibly happy. But again, thank you guys for talking about this stuff down in the comments below. Seriously, it literally makes my day whenever I see you guys talking about the lore, talking about the videos, talking about the different concepts and topics and everything, giving me ideas to pull from in order to create videos like this. But that's going to be it for me. If you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. That'll be it for me for today. If you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. But may you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter, and I will see you all in the next video. Umbasa.